holy shit. He said, what?
When you were growing up, who was your voice / influencer that helped you see your conservative views? And then for now, who can we look at as an influencer or like a voice?
Okay, so that's very interesting. So, you know, when I was a kid and I was kind of developing my politics, there was actually a radio host, a guy who founded this organization called Focus on the Family, James Dobson, who was really influential to me. And he was just, you know, he was a good Christian guy. He talked about the family. He talked about things I cared a lot about. And I came from a broken home. So when he talked about the ways in which a broken home had a negative effect on kids, it made sense to me because I was seeing it in my own life. And then here was a guy who was actually talking about it. And what I liked about him is that he didn't talk about it in this judgmental way, right? He wasn't attacking a kid like me who didn't have everything handed to him. He was just explaining in a very real world, with a fundamentally Christian underpinning, here's what happens when things are broken. And, you know, when you ask who are some of the conservative influencers or the political influencers today, there are a few people that I look to who I think have very, very smart and wise spiritual wisdom. I mean, like, I think Andrew and Blake and the podcast that they have at TPUSA is amazing. I listen to it all the time. I think it's great. You know, I think if you want a good laugh, I love Theo Von. Like, he's one of my favorite. I think he's just incredible. And he's got one of these senses of humor where, like, 30% of the time it goes completely over my head, and 70% of the time he's the funniest person imaginable. But I think Theo has a good heart. And that's one of the reasons why I really like listening to his show. And then just in terms of, like, you know, pure politics, of course you should be listening to the Vice President of these United States. Thank you.